the things that we did at the very beginning of the year could be completely different from what we actually want for our lives now. We are a totally different person 9, 10 months later from the person that we were last December or January. So it's important to recalibrate from this new vantage point. Hi everyone, welcome back to the Balanced Business Coach. My name is Tony Robinson. I'm a life coach for leaders and a burnout prevention specialist. I help individuals and teams create more balance within their personal and professional lives so that they can create a bigger and better impact on the places that they serve. Today we are going to be getting into your Q4 goals, your end of the year planning, how to make the biggest impact on your Q4, how to make it the most successful so that you end this year on the strongest note possible. We're going to be talking about what to focus on, what to let go of. We need to know that the things that we did at the very beginning of the year could be completely different from what we actually want for our lives now. We are a totally different person 9, 10 months later from the person that we were last December or January. So it's important to recalibrate from this new vantage point. We're going to be talking about how to find your current state, how to evaluate each area of your life so that you can survey, is this an area that I need to prioritize? Is this an area that I want to focus on? We're going to go into what did you accomplish? What are your wins so far? Even if they weren't part of your annual goals, we need to celebrate ourselves as much as possible. And then we're going to get into your mindset. 90 days is a lot of time. Think about 75 hard challenge. A lot of us see that and think, there's no way that I could do those things for 75 days. That's a really long time. Think about that when you are planning your goals. 90 days is a lot of time. You have so much time available to you to still execute and accomplish things that you are wanting to do this year. And just to preface, I'm not a person that's like, you have to get all of these things done by the time the year is up. No, it's just about making sure that you are focusing on the right things, that you are gaining the momentum that you need in order to go into the new year. I'm a very seasonal person, and so when I get into the fall season, Q4, I really like to just reevaluate and remind myself what strength and power I hold within and how I can let that emerge to carry me through the end of the year on the strongest, most impactful note so that I feel like this year was a huge win. So if all of that sounds interesting to you, I hope you'll stick around and let's get into it. So the very first thing that we want to do when we are planning for Q4 and getting ready for the end of our year to end it strong is to review our lessons and challenges and overcomings from the year so far. Look back at Q1, Q2, Q3, what are the things that you set out to do that you didn't accomplish? What were the obstacles, or what was the moment that you decided, I don't really want to make this a priority anymore, or I'm not going to pursue this any longer? What were those things so that you can plan for them for Q4? If there were specific obstacles, or maybe you just weren't motivated, you can plan for those things going into Q4 so that you can get ahead of them. If you know that you struggled with a certain obstacle, how can you overcome that? Or how can you pivot so that that isn't an obstacle this time? If you had certain things that were just like, I don't have the motivation for this, I am not fully committed to this, ask yourself why. Is it really that important of a goal to you, or did you just lack the discipline? And then evaluating what are the things that you need to put in place so that you can have that discipline if that is still a priority. You want to celebrate your wins, not just the big ones, but the small ones are really the ones that matter. It's those small little steps that lead to great big changes. So what are the little things that you're celebrating from this year so far? Making sure you identify those wins and celebrate them, no matter how small they are, is going to allow you to recognize them and be able to celebrate them going into Q4 in the future as well. Second step, and this one is very, very important, is to reassess your priorities and align with your current values. You may be a totally different person than you were 9, 10 months ago. When you set your goals back in 2023 or at the beginning of 2024, you may have been in a completely different place. Things change rapidly throughout the year. You may have had big life changes. You may have had just a change of heart or a change of priorities. So you want to make sure that you're not evaluating your year off of goals that you set at the very beginning of the year when you had no idea what was to come. Now, as we go into Q4, you're looking at the things that you may have set at the beginning of the year and saying, is this still important to me? Does this still align with the values that I have? Does this still align with the future that I want? Does this actually matter? And does it matter because other people think it matters, or does it really matter for me and my future? When we set goals or when we create vision boards, a lot of times we can pull inspiration from other people. We can look at Pinterest or look at other people's lives that are around us, our family, our friends, and think that we want what they have. But in reality, that is just going to drain your energy if it's not actually aligned with who you are and what you really desire. So make sure that you're actually taking the time to sit down and think about what is important to you. What do you truly want out of the rest of this year, out of your future? How can you get more aligned and in tune with yourself and your true desires rather than having all of these different ideas that you're pulling from and being like, oh, that would be nice. Oh, that looks pretty good. You don't need to do your goal setting that way anymore. It's important to go inward first. And then if you're saying, oh, I would really like to go on a vacation with my husband, I would like it to be, somewhere warm, but I want to be able to hike and I want to be able to do some shopping and I want to be able to go to the beach. Where are some places that I could do that? Then you can go out and search for those things and pull different images of like, oh yeah, that place looks like it's in alignment with what I was looking for. But start with yourself. Start with what you desire rather than starting with an external, let me pull inspiration and just see what looks good to me. Because a lot of things look good to us. They all look great, especially if we see something that's like, oh, this person has so much happiness because they have this vehicle, they go on these vacations, they have this family, but that may not actually be what brings us happiness. So don't spend your energy and spin your wheels trying to accomplish things that aren't actually in alignment with your goals and your values. So again, realign, reassess before you go into Q4 so that you are actually focusing on the right things. Okay, the next thing you want to do is break down your goals into manageable steps. The worst thing you can possibly do is to write down a goal that says go on a vacation with my husband and then not break that down into smaller chunks. If it's been a really long time since you've been on a vacation with your husband, or maybe you guys haven't had the means to do so, it's going to be really important for you to break it down into the exact steps that you're going to have to take in order to accomplish that goal. Because when you break it down into bite-sized chunks, your brain realizes, oh, well, I can do that. I can do that next step. I can do that step. And then over time, you will have accomplished the goal. It just happens when you break it down into smaller pieces. You more easily and probably more quickly accomplish the goal faster than you would have expected. A lot of the times, what gets in our way is us thinking how difficult it's going to be to get to that end goal, how far away that is, how much effort it's going to take to get there. But if you break it down into those smaller chunks, you're going to get those smaller rewards along the way. You're able to celebrate those. That gives you that dopamine hit, like, yes, I did it. And then you get to the big goal and it feels amazing. So the way I like to break down my goals is I like to start with the big goal and work my way backwards. So if I were to go on vacation with my husband, what is the thing that I would do right before that? Well, I would probably get on an airplane. What do I need to do before I get on the airplane? I need to pack my bags. What do I need to do before I pack my bags? I need to book my ticket. What do I need to do before I book my ticket? I need to look up flights. What do I need to do before I look up flights? We need to decide on dates and a location. What do I need to do before I pick dates to go on my vacation? Well, I need to see when my husband and I are going to be available. When do we have vacation time at work? When will we have someone to watch the kids? Those kind of things. What do we need to do before that? We need to decide what our budget is for our vacation. And so then you would just keep going on down the line until you get to this very moment that you're at right now as you're writing the goal. What is one thing that you can do today to start moving this process forward? If you can start getting those wins immediately, it will change the trajectory of you accomplishing your goals for the rest of your life. If you have it broken down into those smaller steps, it will change how often and how quickly you accomplish your goals for the rest of your life. I promise you, it is a game changer. You want to have this consistent progress over perfection. You want to have consistent progress over big accomplishment. That consistency is going to get you to your goals way faster and way easier than trying to just go big all at once. The next part of this process in planning for Q4 is making sure that you have a solid support system. This could be family, it could be friends, it could be a coach, someone that is going to be there to not only remind you of what your goals are, but to be there when things get rough for you. If you're starting to lose motivation, if you're starting to feel like you don't have the discipline to keep going, you need someone who's actually going to be there to talk you through what's going on. Where is this lack of motivation coming from? Why isn't the discipline coming to you? Is it because you don't actually feel aligned with this goal anymore? Is it because you don't believe that you can actually accomplish that goal? So it's feeling too overwhelming and you just want to procrastinate and kind of like forget about it for now? Or is it something that you just haven't broke down those milestones into small enough pieces for you to get that consistent success? Having someone who's going to be there for you to help you through those times is going to be so helpful and beneficial to your success in the long run. The other part of a solid support system is having people who are going to allow you to set boundaries, who are going to respect your boundaries. If you have a goal of saving a certain amount of money by the end of the year, maybe for Christmas, something like that, you don't need a support system that is going to constantly ask you to go out for mimosas and brunch every single Sunday, because that is not helping you get to your savings goal. You need a support system who's going to say, hey, I'm going to come over on Sundays. We're going to cook a super low-cost breakfast. We're going to sit down, we're going to plan for our weeks, we're going to brainstorm, we're going to look at our goals and look at our milestones and see what we accomplished, what we need to do, what changes we need to make, what wins can we celebrate. Do basically what we're doing right now on a smaller scale every single week. Instead of going out to brunch, save that money and use that time to focus on your goals and accomplishing what you want out of the next 90 days. Having people around you who are going to support you through that and respect what you need to do in order to accomplish those things is going to be a game changer, especially if you have other people who are doing the same thing. It's helpful to have somebody who's alongside you to almost have like not competition, but a friendly motivation. Kind of like when you go to the gym with somebody. I don't know about you, but I go a lot harder when I'm in the gym with someone else. I feel a lot stronger. I push myself a lot harder. If you're working towards a goal alongside someone who is working towards something similar, it's just going to propel your guys' motivation, discipline, and success so much faster. The last part of ending Q4, ending 2024 strong, is your mindset. This is so important. Do not let this one be the one that you neglect. If you are going into this process thinking, I am such a piece of crap, I didn't accomplish any of my goals for this year, oh my gosh, nothing ever goes well for me, I live under a cloud of doom, that is not the way that we are going to get to the finish line. It's really, really really important that you reset your mindset for the rest of the year that is to come. If you are going to have a strong finish, you need a strong mindset. Don't play the victim. Don't worry about what happened in the past. We're only looking forward. It really doesn't matter where you've been, what has happened in your past. All of that is just part of a story that you are telling yourself. So, what is that story going to be? Are you going to use that story to propel yourself forward, or are you going to use that story to continue to keep yourself down? I'm a true believer in momentum. Whether you're swinging into positive momentum or negative momentum is up to you. But whatever you choose, it's what's going to continue to propel. So if you continue to focus on negative things, or you continue to look at the negative side of the past and what you've been through and how things went this year, or the things that you didn't get to accomplish, or the things that didn't happen that were supposed to happen, if you continue to go down that rabbit hole, you will continue to be and stay in that rabbit hole. But if you start to swing your momentum the other way towards the positive direction and evaluate, like I said at the beginning, what are the obstacles? What are the lessons learned? What are the things that you can adapt and change? What are the shifts that you can make? Then you start to look towards the positive side. If you look at everything as a lesson and not a loss, that is going to help you stay focused on the prize, on the goal at hand, which ultimately the goal for everyone is just to be happy, to feel fulfilled, to feel successful, whatever that looks like for you. But you cannot do that from a place of negativity. You just can't. I'm not saying that bad things aren't going to happen or bad days won't come, but staying in that negative mindset and headspace is going to kill your motivation, your discipline, and your progress forward. Q4 is such a powerful time to start building momentum, not only to accomplish all of the goals that you've set this year or that you're going to set for the end of this year, but it's also such an incredible way to propel yourself into 2025, into the next year that is coming. So make sure you're setting the right foundation for yourself going into the rest of this year and the beginning of next year. It's going to make a huge difference. There are so many different ways that you can start to shift your mindset. Meditation is the most beneficial one. If you've never meditated before, or if you feel like it's kind of a weird thing, I would highly suggest starting with guided meditations. I actually have an amazing guided meditation journal that I just put out. The link is down below. It not only gives you meditations that you can do, but it also guides you through different journal prompts after each meditation that you can use to reflect and to set more goals, to get closer to the life that you desire and the life that you want to be living. There's also free resources like Insight Timer. That is an amazing meditation app. It's completely free, and you can access hundreds of thousands of meditations, and they are really good quality, amazing teachers and instructors who are on that platform that allow you to be gently guided through a meditation, whether you are a beginner or a pro. They have all kinds of different meditations for you to choose from. Find the one that speaks to you, hit the play button, sit down. You don't have to close your eyes. You don't have to be in a dark room saying, you can. And actually, those are great meditations, but you don't have to start there. And it doesn't have to be that. Meditation looks different for everybody. It's a deeply personal experience, but if you've never done it before, it can be really helpful to start with a guide. So I'll drop a link to Insight Timer below in case you want to use that as a starting point. A couple other ways that you can change your mindset is also journaling. So again, back to that guided journal, it is extremely beneficial for mindset work. You can also listen to affirmations. I really love to listen to Abraham Hicks in the morning. You could also just search on YouTube morning affirmations, or affirmations for success, or affirmations for whatever goal you're working towards. Affirmations for getting a new job, affirmations for making more money, affirmations for finding love. whatever it is that you want to get in a positive mindset about, whatever is feeling like that's the thing that's dragging you down and keeping you in that like negative space, start to listen to affirmations that are going to counteract those thoughts that you're having, those negative thoughts that you're having, the negative space that you're in. Start to listen to affirmations that are going to counteract that so that your brain can start to reprogram itself to believe a different story. All right, everyone, those are the 5 tips that I have for you today to end your year strong. I just want you to remember that we are all in this together. You are never alone. If you ever need support from a coach who's not only going to be a cheerleader to celebrate you in those small moments, in those big moments, but you also need someone who is a guide that's going to help you dig deeper when you're feeling like, why am I not getting this success? Or someone who's going to remind you of your power, of what you have inside of you, what you are capable of. If you need that support, that person that is going to help you set boundaries and determine where are the areas that I need to pivot, where are the obstacles that I'm having, and how can I overcome those. All of those things are what I help my clients with, and I would absolutely love to schedule a free one-on-one session with you. This is a complimentary, no strings attached session. The link to book it is down below. We're going to get clear on what you want, what is holding you back, and the roadmap to success. So if you want to kind of go through this process together, we can do that on a one-on-one call and set you up for the most success for the end of your year and the year ahead. I hope that this was all beneficial for you today. I look forward to connecting with you soon. If you haven't already, please hit the subscribe button and the bell icon so that you get notified every single time I post a new video. I post every single Monday and 2 Wednesdays per month. If you enjoyed this video, I would love it if you would hit that like button so that I know to make more videos like this in the future. Thank you so much for being here. I hope you have an amazing week ahead. And until next time, take care.